Hi, good to share a few minutes with you today. We find ourselves this week in the first week of Advent, the first of these 4 weeks that lead up to our celebration of Christmas, our celebration of Jesus' birth, of celebrating God with us, Emmanuel. I've long loved this season of Advent. In part, I think it's because as we get into these weeks before Christmas, I start decorating my home, enjoying lights around town, listening to Christmas music, and watching favorite Christmas movies. All wonderful things that bring joy in the midst of life. But I also like this season of Advent because it's an invitation to slow down. An invitation maybe to light a candle. An invitation maybe to pick up a cup of tea, to sit back and relax, to sit back and be attentive to God and God's presence among us. This first week of Advent, as we explore our theme of those who dream, we are reminded that we are invited to keep awake, to keep attentive to God's presence, to keep attentive to God's dreams and God's hope for this world and how we might share in those things. And so today I want to share with you some reflections by Joyce Rupp, a prayer poem entitled The Gift of Hope. These words have been a blessing to me this week, and I pray they may be a blessing to you as well. God of all those who yearn for a glimmer of assurance on the long journey home to you, come. Come with a vast storehouse of renewed dreams, hopes, and peacefulness. God of hope, come. Enter into my memory and remind me often of the yearning of the people of history. Stir up stories of how the ancestors hung on to your promises, how they stole hope from tiny glimmers about you, passed on from age to age. Help me to hear the loud, crying voice of the prophets who proclaimed that a new age would dawn. God of hope, come. Enter into this heart of mine, which often loses itself in self, missing the message of your encouragement because I am so entangled in the web of my own whirl of life. Enable me to not lose sight of the power of your presence or the truth of your consolation. God of hope, come. Enter into the lives of all of those I hold dear, the ones whose lives are marked with pain and struggle and deep anxiety, those whose lives bear ongoing heartaches, those whose difficulties threaten to overwhelm them with helplessness and despair. Come and gift them with a deep belief about you and your never-ending faithfulness and companionship. God of hope, come. Enter into every human heart that cries out for a glimpse of your love, for a sign of your welcoming presence, for a taste of your happiness. Be the one who calms the restless and gentles the ache of the human journey. God of hope, come. Enter into this Advent season with the grace of joy and laughter. Fill faces with smiles of delight and voices with sounds of pleasure. Let this gift come from deep within. Replenish all with the joyful blessing that only your peace can bring. God of hope, come. Be the morning star in our midst, the light that never goes out, the beacon of hope guiding our way to you. Come into our midst and make of our lives a home where your everlasting goodness resonates with assuring love and vigorous hope. Amen. Our prayer is, God of hope, come. We are those who dream, who remain attentive, who stay awake. Sure, we go to bed at night, but we stay awake to God's coming, to the hope of God that comes into our midst.